They've taken down Spirit OG Astralis. Movistar Riders are in the same sort of play, Jay. They're on 3 in a row, but Sprout, Existence, and K23, very, very different levels of competition. But going into Inferno, I reckon this could be a lot closer than what people originally expect.
Absolutely, I have to agree on that particular front. I'm definitely riding the Movistar Riders hype train for this one. I still think Big are going to win this out, but this will be a much closer affair. And again, all eyes on Smooya, seeing whether he can defeat his fellow former teammates here on the Big side. So pistol round about to go live. Big will get things off on the T side start. Movistar Riders with the utility buys in on Mopos and Steel. Got Kevlar basic pistols for everything else. Double flash and Molly. Double flash for Smoke as well for Tizian and Tabs respectively. And it's out towards second mid here to start things off for the teams.
Big actually putting in quite an aggressive approach, at least towards brackets, and they're going to be running into a very heavy stack. Look at this bait setup coming out for the Riders.
2-for-1 trades still go well for the Big side, still trading it back to a 3-on-3 situation. Zentares trying to force something out towards the long control, but he can't see any of the CT forces. They've backed off, broken away from their default standings here, and actually going to lean back towards the B site where the rotations have been called in. Mopos has left this alone, but will quickly respond back towards the CT cross.
Yeah, they've got a kit and a little bit of utility between both Steel and Mopos. Maybe a little bit of a boost coming in towards the flower pots. Bit of an edge on that gap on the left-hand side. HG can come down onto Sirison, getting that bomb in. Damage. Ooh, that comes in big towards the T side.
Turning a slight HP advantage to the favor of Movistar Riders as they lean closer. They've got that diffuse kit Steel on Steel. Backed up over at the Speedway angle. Got to rotate in quick as his teammates try and force the issue. Smooya is very low HP, so he's got to rely heavily on Mopos down to Kevlar. Definitely not the ideal situation for the CT side, but still they get the kills. Tizian and Searson line up 2 more. The Mopos at the the site leaning in, flashed out, completely blind. And Big take the pistol round.
That's really well played there from Big. Not only do they actually charge in towards brackets, trade out evenly, but then they almost sort of beat the rotations, right? Movistar Riders end up bringing everyone over towards A play. Mopos is the nearest one on rotation back over to B. They get the bomb plant and just keeping those flashes in play. Look at the amount of SMGs. There are 5 MAC-10s up for the Big side. Get rid of all the Galils and the AKs. They just want the MAC-10s, Jay.
You know what, we've covered so much Tier 2 CS in the last year, Dwayne, that I'm kind of surprised not to see a massive force buy coming through from the T's off the back of that round win. But hey, money's money, and they could easily farm it up. They've got 2 players without head Kevlar, though, so it might be a bit more of a difficult affair than what you might initially expect. Deagle straight in for Shocks, however, shut down by Zentaris, so no challenges to the brackets control. Big immediately picking up the frags.
Yeah, this is some really good damage already to the CT basis. Try and see if you can bait out all the limited utility that they've got. Find that initial pick in towards the apartments and brackets play, but rather than slowing down and leaning back over towards the B site like they did in the pistol, it looks like they just want to brute force their way in.
Flash in, Deagle out again. Great utility usage from the Movistar Riders, but Tabson getting that secondary kill on Alex. Smooya will find 1 trade, but that's as far as it seems to go. Mopos standing alone, backed up towards the mid control, right up towards top mid. Bomb plant secured here by Keto, and well, there's not much that Mopos can do about it. Could probably sneak in, get some exit frags, try to take some of that Kevlar away, but it's only SMGs brought into this round, so Big won't be sweating any major casualties. They want to try and build the money line into a bonus rifle round, but yeah, just shut down on Mopos, not enough firepower, couldn't line up the headshot in time. And 2-0 start for Big, eco round for the CT side.
Yeah, that is very, very rare. They're very rare at this level that we actually see a T side on Inferno going 5 MAC-10s. But look at the money that they've gained out of it. Like, only 1 player goes down as Zentares. They clean up the force buy really easily from the Movistar Riders. They chuck over an AK to Zentares, keep this as even more of a bonus round, knowing that the Riders aren't going to be forcing again. They're on eco status, so they can only upgrade a little bit. Not going in for any kind of a gamble stack. A little bit of a lean out towards the B site early on, and Big, well, they can just charge in with these MAC-10s, farm up even more cash.
Almost caught 1 player off guard and Searson. Alex doing his damage, but 12 HP, he stays alive. Mopos does dome the bomb planter, so that gets a bit of a drop piece of utility there for the Big side, but still keeps on to press forward. Isolated player taking down 1 man left in the midst of the smoke. Smooth is going to get flanked upon. No idea. This Molotov is going to get pushed forward by Keto. Still gets the kill onto him, so that's a frag. But the AK staying in for Zentaris is going to be the important thing. He's already got a kill. Backstab inbound from Steel. Smooth can't get to the wall bang in time. And yeah, overall, they should just get shut down pretty easy on this anti-eco. This is going to be a 3-0 with bonus SMGs to carry into the rifle round as well for the Big side.
Look, I think decent round from the Movistar Riders. A couple of kills. If they can make it a third, then that would be even better. Turns away. Still actually takes down Xantares. So now just down to Cirrus and Tizian. Quite an expensive round coming out from the big side. Not quite the connection to find that fourth kill. But look, it goes both ways, right? There was still a lot of Mac 10s in place. A Big have obviously been able to farm up a huge amount of money. So even though they lose quite a few players, it's not the biggest of differences in the world. They'll be able to get that AWP on for Sirison, and Smuya is doing the same respectively. So AWP is coming out for both sides going into the opening gun round.
And starting the matchup for him, 2 kills deep so far, tying up with Mopos and Steel the same, so the pistols have been doing as much damage as they possibly can in the first a couple of rounds. Smuya set towards this long angle. Will Big realize his position? Of course, the positions and intricacies might have changed over the course of time. It's been a very long time since Smuya's been a part of this roster. Will they be able to get the reads on him this time? Well, they might have to be worrying about the reads for the short positions as well. Shots boosted up on the balconies. Now on a quad at this stage, he's kind of like the forward-facing player, so generally a pretty passive setup here from the Riders.
Yeah, Big have actually been able to isolate a fair bit of map control already. They get Keto in towards the logs position, out towards the banana tank. They've already got a very deep lurk coming out from Tizian in the apartments. Hasn't quite broken in towards a bracket just yet. You've got to think for Shox too over on this city side. This is going to be a very pressureful match for him. His first time in a big event like this. Remember seeing him on the Smash side only just before being picked up by the Movistar Riders. So a moment for the Estonian to really start to find his form. Big. Getting closer to 50 seconds left on the clock, and they've got options here, Jay. They could try and sell a little bit of an A fake, lean back over towards B, and it's actually still with the aggressive approach that finds that first pick in the apartments.
And Movistar Riders getting away with the opener this time. Only 1 frag, though. Got to find a whole lot more. 2-2 split from the T side line. Looking like this is going to be a split play in towards the B site. But Smuya are going to shut down the 2 players on from long. Only gets that 1 frag at the edge of the smokes, and Taurus is watching for him. He backs off passive, expecting this to be a B play, especially with that smoke down towards Cross. But he rotates away at the wrong moment. Now's the chance for Xantares to strike. But Searson and Keto have got to get work done here towards the entries. 15 seconds. Bomb needs to go down real soon. They're suppressed by further Molotovs. And the T's are backing off for a save. Yeah. Oh, way too slow from Big, and Movistar Riders will look to claim their first round without taking a single point of damage, it seems.
Yeah, look, it was that wraparound, right, from long that we sort of thought, okay, then there's a split B on the cards, but as soon as Smuya is able to find that pick out from Arch and no trade comes back from the banana players, or the long player can't find anything either, they're just running out of time. They're already down a couple of men. They opt to, you know, just end up going for the save, get that money forward. You'll still be able to reinvest going into round 5. For the Riders, though, Jay, what a confident round that is from them. Still overextended in towards the apartments. We saw Smuya getting involved out from Arch with that AWP. No one falling on the CT side. A great start from them on the opening gun round.
AWP's in for Smuya, past the smoke, gets Searson to drop, and opens things up here for the CT side once again. Entry fragging and taking names across the map here, reading that particularly well as they tried to go towards the mid control for the most part, but kind of held up there at the top mid and top banana positions. And 1 player to fall, but not much more than that here. He's again going to start to go slow.
Yeah, you've got to think Big have got to be able to find a way to try and isolate this AWP from Smuya. Already finding that opening pick, bringing another player over from Arch to have a bit of a bait setup, maybe switch on the contact with a flash. Smuya peeks out, doesn't quite hit the shot though.
A Molotov landing on the roof, didn't quite sight the bomb correctly. Towards the site itself. Shots have straight lines up onto 2 players. Tapson and Tizian dropping. Bomb out in the open as well. Xantares and Keto now standing alone. Very different areas on the map actually. Xantares could be in for a decent flank around. Shox might not be ready for this backstab headshot. Sees only 1 incendiary out in the second. He's going to hunt for 2 frags to try and equalize the standings. And both players walk right into him. That's 2 trades back, but still a man advantage for Movistar Riders. They've got to act real quick, and Mopos is now key towards to try and shut down a bomb planter again. Will take Xantares. Keto, last man standing, facing, does get a headshot together, but now needs to get that bomb and wrap his way right back into the B sites.
A chance to just play out the post plant, see what you can find with it. No one coming out from CT Spore. Both players in from Banana. Still in Smuya. Do now start to slow it down. Don't give the information up to Keto as he relocates back towards a new box position.
Now back to second box, re-aggressing towards first. Steel and Smuya have no utility except that smoke towards the cross to try and siphon off Keto from 1 angle. Facing in dry. They've spotted him. They're taking him down. 1 pixel's all you need to win the round for Steel, and Movistar Riders have their second to the CT board. Big, a much better execution that time around, but again, caught off with the long control. Movistar Riders locking that position of the map down.
Yeah, look, it was a decent recovery from Big. Xantares being able to line them up, trade the player out from CT. That was a 5-on-2 advantage again from the Movistar Riders. Big sort of struggling to find these opening picks. Lovely spray transfer coming in from Shocks to drop that bomb. Xantares just coming into the back lines to at least try and do more economical damage on the CT side and at least get a bomb plan in play for the Ts, but Big, not finding it easy, Jay. And look, their economy is completely rattled here. They're not going to be on what is really just a half buy. Tamsin buying down quite heavy, though.
Orpa Smooya again looking to shut them out of the opening frags. Shocks back top towards the short control as the T's press forward and Swedish catch that first kill on the bomb planter. Second place on Peter landing it perfectly. Flashbang throws him off that third kill. Back towards the site, the Incendiary goes down towards short as they realize there is some presence coming in from the T's. One player extending out towards Arch, but that bomb just getting picked up, and now Big need to regroup and refight from a different position.
Yeah, Alex is smoked off from Library, but it doesn't really matter for him. He just needs to stay alive, hold on to the advantage. They've already got such a heavy stack in the bomb site itself. A Big had so much utility to work with in the early round to just get into brackets, and they've used all of it and haven't managed to really do any damage just yet, outside of Shocks going down to just under 30 points. Movistar Riders need to be wary here that they don't get too hungry, Jay. You don't want to just be wide swinging into those deagles and giving up any unnecessary fights.
Yeah, Big is a team that can punish you with the hand cannons, especially a team as Movistar Riders are. Alex, that being said, lines them up, knocks them down, only gets 2 kills for it, so 1 trade is good for Tizian, but now needs to find 4 more to have a chance in this round. Actually grab the rifle as well, seeing what kind of damage he can do. Reload on the gun, smoke down towards the church position, drawing all sorts of attention away. He might have seen Mopos, but that Incendiary basically stalls it. Tizian can't push forward. He's going to burn alive. Had to take the risk because he had no real choice in the matter, but that's still going to mean a 3rd round for Movistar Riders. Equalizing against Big. The buy is looking a bit scrappy for the T's. They might have to go half buy, I say that, and Xantares and Searson by the AWPs and the AKs.
And we saw those stats up on screen a little bit earlier about Smooya since joining Movistar Riders, Jay. In 23 maps since joining, the Movistar Riders have won 20 of them. He's put up a positive 214 KD differential. He has been putting up incredible numbers, and he's even doing so in this best of 1 to start it off. And that AWP, and finding quite a lot of connections out from long. This time around going in for a little bit something more aggressive out from brackets. The damage coming through to start off that trade and a follow-up HE onto Xantares. He does get a couple of kills, but he's down to 30 points of health.
Most of the challenge from the T side going in towards that banana control, but it's the apartments where they shine the brightest. Xantares with 2 frags, and Steel and Shocks left to sit out the round as a result. They do lose Tizzy in that one, so it's still 2 for 1. Opportunity for the Movistar Rider side to recover. I say that, and Searson shuts down Mopos now towards Banana, and you can see Smooya and Alex reacting to that by going back to the A site to save their weapons, potentially grab the AK that was dropped by Tizian if it wasn't already removed from position, as they will maintain control of the B site. And there realistically is no real retake on for the Movistar Riders for this one. They've just got to save the weapons. Money's looking okay for them, so I mean, again, it's not great, so it might just be more worth it to hold on to these weapons and try force another buyback.
Well, the thing is, the loss bonus just isn't there, right? We saw Big winning 3 rounds in a row to start off, then 3 in a row from the Riders. And you even look at the money state in the reserve. Yeah, I suppose you've got Steel, Mopos, and Smooya with a little bit. But for Alex and Shocks, there's not a massive amount there. So even going for that retake probably isn't worth it. Maybe see if they can find some exit kills. And Big, though, and taking back the lead. Oh, they're going to try and go hunting. Oh, that's a big kill from Alex, but they know where he is. The thing is, the T's are just a little bit too far away, so they won't be able to continue that hunt. Able to hold an AK and AWP in play for the Riders. It seemed like that initial challenge out from the aggressive apartments approach didn't quite work out the way they would have liked it. It was Xantares to hold to find the 2 very nice kills from Big.
Ultimately win the round for them as well. And again, those 2 frags tipping the man advantage. Kill came in towards Banana, and the last 2 players left over towards the A side. Just better to hold on to the weapons. And again, Big kills coming through towards the exits. Yes, they keep 3 players alive for Big, but that was a force buy, so every casualty will be lost investment, and it could set them up for a reset later in the next couple of rounds. Movistar Riders taking a tactical pause here. Their first of the day. Down by a single round, but I'm loving the liberal uses of it here in the first 8 of them. Again, those rifles coming up to a rebuy here with the AK and AWP, enabling the M4s to get dropped. So, full investments with the kits. Most players having full sets of utility. Movistar will need to strike back soon.
One interesting point as well, Jay, is Big are actually on a 6 best-of-1 winning streak. Now, it has been, I will say, a little while since they have played their last best-of-1, which was all the way about 9 months ago. But up until that point, they have had a really good streak in the best-of-1 context. And Movistar Riders bringing a couple of players over towards an aggressive approach towards the broken wall area. One thing we haven't really seen from the Movistar Riders, at least yet, Jay, is actually contesting this banana control.
They've been pretty passive about it. They've put some utility down to try to drive Keto away. Ooh. That nade is going to be much better placed there. The incendiary, of course, extinguished early. They baited in that smoke from him. Still got 3 left in play for Big, but the HE doing a number on the damage. And Movistar Riders, they've not really taken contact towards these team positions. Incendiary back to try to stop the early hit coming through. Flashes will keep Alex flying. Second flash also evading, getting a kill towards Old Grill. Still gets Keto for the kill in the end, and Tara's all traded back. Mopos left alone on the site. He's back up to a right. He's there from CT spawn. One player spotted at the edge of the smoke will go down to Mopos here. T-side players pressing right up to the flank. The all close nice touch for the M4 tab to get a trade, but Mopos makes it a 3K, and Tara stands between his own. Now looking at locks back on towards Steel, but Steel shuts him back, and Movistar Riders can claim their 4th of the CT side by the skin of their teeth. Massive, massive rounds from 2 individuals of both teams.
You've got to think that was a big change of pace, right? We actually saw the Germans going in for a really quick B-side exit after taking that banana control, and this round has to be won from Mopos, right? He gets so aggressive around that Coffin's position, and he's just continuing to do damage. Zantara is trying to bring it back for the T side, but it's still on rotation from the A side to find that really important 1 versus 1 and tie up the scoreline. Once again, both teams going very back and forth, Jay, with destroying each other's economy.
Keto looking to try to put some hurt in on this round as well. The P250 out getting that first kill on Steel. Grabbing the M4 and backing right off for it. This is an eco round, a half buy at best for Big with a Kevlar coming in for Tabson. Nades on towards Banana as they play really fast once again. Alex is left alone this time, and the second kill comes through from the Glock this time. 5 on 3. And Movistar Riders have been siphoned off from this B-side play. The pistols could actually come up real big here for Big. Movistar pressing forward, another kill for T-Suit. Oh no, it's all fallen to bits. 2-man advantage for the T's. Tabson's rotating around towards the backlines to try and catch off Smooya here from the backline position here at CT spawn. Mopos will move up towards the site. Smooya has no idea what's coming his way. He's looking at trying to make entries as Mopos got to look for the defuse. Gets Zentaris for a kill. He's got the kit. Smooya does not tap once, forcing players down. Oh, Pistol gets 3 kills. Tabson trades it back. Mopos ducked his head, but Tabson gets his 2K, just keeping it alive for the T side, and a big eco win.
Jeez, that's such a huge eco. That was just so well played from Big. They have that initial contact from Keto out from brackets. He finds a 5-on-4. They then start to get hyper-aggressive over towards B, but it was really the lurk plays, I think, just came in so successful from Big. We saw Tabson wrapping around all the way down the bottom of Banana, coming back in from CT spawn, and then the T's even taking the aggressive approach of getting into that construction area. Movistar Riders will be incredibly disappointed that they lost that round. Now starting to get somewhat aggressive in Boiler. They're going for the Tau Rin, forced by themselves, and it only grants a single rifle.
10th round forced by Movistar Riders. And the boost up shocks here towards the apartment. The illegal kill in. Shoulder bait from Zentaris does get spotted. Do some initial damage. And get the kill in the end. Shocks actually doubles up on Tizian as well. So pistols from Movistar Riders right of their own. Rama pushing forward here towards Banana. Keto's tagged to 24. A 3 versus 4 favor to the CT camp. Still got Smooya close towards site, and Alex with that deagle on the other side.
Alex is just trying to have a bit of a bait play, bringing that player in from Coffins. 2, and the headshot even gets landed. Alex, a really important kill on Taquito, and players are falling apart quickly for the German side. Sirison now in a 1 versus 3, and it shocks in the backlines from CT Spawn to end the round. Movistar Riders, now they're the ones to put the pressure on with the pistols. What a start that was coming out from the apartments, Jay. They get that 5-on-3. They're able to pick up some weapons. The rotates come in quickly, and Big crumble to the force buy.
A high risk, high reward investment, and it works well enough for the Riders here. AKs, M4s, AWP also in, of course, on the buyback, and well, Big have no choice but to force right back against them. Got those pistol ecos to work out before now. Hand cannons, Galils, and an AWP, and the Searson highlight weapon of the buy. The chance right on towards Smoothie, towards short control. He looks towards long instead. No one's contesting that position actively. Shots to try and back off. They might have the info. Well, they do have it now. And now the T's press forward with a smoke on short to keep Smoothie at bay. Rifles picked up, and they're pressing towards Speedway as well.
Oh, this City player has no idea. It's nice out from Alex. No information coming forward that they've taken CT Spawn and they've split into Arch. That is a big, big misread from Movistar Riders, and they don't know what hit them.
Thompson just did a 360 straight onto his head. Steel and Smoothie suddenly left alone, and Centaurus gets the next kill of the round. Oh, fear the force buy. Steel, Smoothie, what more can they do from here? Like, they're being converged in upon by Big. This time a much earlier hunt coming through for the T side. They haven't got much to lose as a forced investment round. They take these rifles away. Movistar will be down to pistols for the 12th. And Smoothie knows it. He's got to back off. He's got to play a passive angle. And Steel will flank around against one player out of the apartments as Searson takes out Smoothie. Tizzy and repositions, gets that deagle shot in. And that's, I think, what, 2 rifles gained for free? A big, big round there from Big. And Movistar, a taste of their own medicine, if you will.
It's been scrappy, isn't it, these last few rounds? It started off very clean between the two sides, but now they're just hammering one another, and Movistar Riders, just a lack of information. They get that AWP pick out from long, Smoothie gets smoked off from short, and they just wrap in a CT, and they've just got no idea. Alex is just out with his knife, and well, now for the Riders, they're going to have to be on a force back, Jay. We could be going back and forth for a while, especially if each team keep winning a single round. Nades coming down towards the bottom of Banana, a big evade, and that's already a good start that they're not taking damage from the nades, because that was the only HGs they had.
Passive positions held to the CT side. PT50 close on Steel into the apartments. Not going to press 2 apartments long this time, so it's going to be the brackets control first and foremost. Big definitively going to go ahead and hit this A site. It feels like 3 players to try and deal with back here, but plenty of time to work against it. Movistar Riders just be gaining the information play. Big will just be forcing out map control. Much of it's going to be given to them by default.
A bit of a different variation, right, with this long control. Every single time they've been taken long, they've at least got a player in from Arch or into Library and at least had a bit of a play in towards that CT spawn. This time around, though, it just looks like it's going to be an A-wrap. And Tizian already finding that first kill, still tries to get flashed in and gets aggressive in the apartments. Shox is now going to have a big hold with Smoothie on the side.
Hand cannon and mini pit turned away. Onto the T side. Shox does get a kill back with Zentaris and Keto quickly clean those frags up. Grab the AKs, grab the bomb, get the bomb plant in. And Alex and Mopoz, their best bet is to hold on to the Kevlar. Fama in the case of Alex. Deagle will be more useful going into the eco for Movistar because they're not going to be able to afford a full buy on this one. Might force the issue again, but the Fama goes down. So only rifle they had now just taken straight out of play. And Big will get the 7th round to their board. A bit of a close contest, however. It's only now that this side has started to pull ahead of the Riders.
Oh, we're seeing for both of these teams making a couple of roster changes in 2021, right? We saw Dude being moved up from their assistant coach to their main coach now to replace Toby. And then also for the Riders benching their Danish Orper of Larsen to bring in Movistar Riders. Or to bring him into Movistar Riders, I should say. But yeah, you're right. And I think this is where sort of the experience starts to come through from Big. They've got a couple of rounds lead at 7-5. We've now got another tactical pause being used by the international squad. And maybe the experience from Steel to sort of get down at them and say, right, this is what we need to do going forward. Unfortunately, we've been back and forth so many times with force buys that eventually it had to crack at some point, and now there's absolutely no money. It's going to have to be a very, very light eco for the CTs.
Yeah, Still being the IGL for this roster and coming over from the Brazilian scene. Having a whale of a time with Movistar highs and lows. Now set with a real good opportunity to try and prove something against this big side. And so far, they've been doing a pretty decent job, you know? Like, a lot of these rounds have been real close. Movistar have been even against Big several times over the course of this map up so far. But this could be the half-losing round, as you mentioned. No buy for Movistar Riders, having to take the loss to the chin. Just the Deagles, the PT-50s on a couple of players. Two flashes in for Moppos. No Kevlar. No automatics, no main rifles. Trying to sneak out at the right moment. Almost timed that well against Centaurus, but shut down by Tizian, so he's got his teammates back.
Yeah, they've at least spotted that bomb and dropped it, but gets recovered really quickly for the T side. They'll have at least an information that was probably a couple of players towards that broken ball. Could have been a bit of a heavy stack with Still getting aggro in the apartments itself. But yeah, you expect a round like this for the Riders to maybe grunt themselves 1-2 kills at most, but it shouldn't really be too more than that. Big now starting to make a little bit of approach in towards brackets area. Then comes down, Smooya falls, and Tabson just straight spams the smoke. They've got the A side completely clear, and Movistar Riders probably just look for exits from here.
No sense in saving, there's not much to save, but unfortunately the firepower just isn't quite there. The Deagle's been taken out of the round, and shocked for the USP. Can press forward, could potentially catch off Tabson if he's caught looking the wrong way at the right moment, but even he's going to back off. And Zantara speaks in from Moto. Back to an 8th for Big to win the T-side half. Movistar Riders, enough money to go for the buy, and that's exactly what they'll do. But not going to save for the AWP on Smooya, though. Just put him on the M4. And there wasn't enough money for an AWP anyway, but you know, even a half buy possibly could have bolstered him up for the last round of the half.
I think they've just realised that, you know, how much more are they going to get just being able to go for a half buy and get Smooya on the AWP. At least if they can buy back with the M4s. While it isn't the best to buy, there is no kits. They are very limited with the util sets. It's their opportunity to bounce back. And last thing they want to do is just give up more rounds to Big. Double boost coming in from Porge. This, it looked like a double boost, at least for the meanwhile. But no, it's actually going to be a triple stack around that short position.
Much more heavy quad presence than we've seen from these guys so far. The vertical crossfire with a secondary off-angle player. That Molotov should force them to break it, at least for Smooya to burn the 36. Secondary molly, and Shock's going to find the tiniest gaps there. Put the smoke down, nades up, damage. Searson and Tabson very, very low, but Steel is the first casualty of the round. Further nades coming through, trying to drive them out of this short control. Great read from Big and great counter against the Riders.
Yeah, look, it seemed like the utility was on point. Shox had a smoke, but didn't put it down onto that molly that was burning Smooya. Instead, trying to hold onto it, force him out to the open, try and keep it later, but then that second molly comes in, so he's got to put it down. Tabson and Searson have taken a fair bit of damage between them, but you've got to think this is the right read into the A site. They've already been able to lock out the rotation from Alex. He's stuck outside of Arch.
Smoke down off towards Pit. One player in mini, one player on site. And Tabson will be first contact. Smooth, his eyes locked forward. M6 takes that bomb out. Massively crucial, but both players still fall on the CT side. Bomb gets picked up and planted. For what should be a 9th for Big, as Movistar Riders looking to save honor those weapons. I mean, well, what more can they do here?
Yeah, look, save on to them. You're getting at least money forward, but they're going to struggle with the buy again, Jay. This has not been a great end to the half. Big have now been able to put up a huge amount of rounds together. I think it's 4 in a row now as a streak. And they're even going hunting. They realize the importance of trying to take out at least a couple of these CT players, considering how much money there is on the T side. They can continue hunting. It doesn't make a difference. Struggling to stay alive out from Miller, finally getting the connection. There's still 2 more players in. Zantara's peeking out. Alex tries to stay alive, 9 HP. Searson out towards the site itself. And at least Movistar Riders are going to hold on to 1 player, but that's all they're going to find. And we really haven't seen Smooya on the AWP for a while now, Jay.
Yeah, had very little chance to get impact on the big green gun. He's down to a Fammer for this next round. Versus the straight AKs and AWP out for Big. Searson already ready for some brackets contact. Molotov in from the left-hand side, not going to get spotted by the AWP. Driving them away from the early mid positions here in the Movistar Riders, but in general, their options are limited. I mean, they've got a decent amount of utility to try and force Big into awkward positions, but just the firepower isn't there.
Yeah, Movistar Riders, look how passive they're going. We've seen a few aggressive approaches here or there, but for the most part on this city side, we haven't seen like an aggro mid-take. We haven't seen them taking banana control at all, and they're certainly limited by the buy. Pushes them even further back and allows banana presence to just come in without any damage being taken. A bit of a boost coming over towards the bracket smoke, and that actually finds an opening kill.
Smoothie with the start. Any more follow-ups from his teammates? Zentaris down to 2 HP. Tizium will end up going down to steal the SMG. 5 versus 3, finally traded back by Keto on towards banana control. Alex again aggressing forward at the smoke and being punished for it. I think they've been punished every single time they've tried to get towards sandbags, at least here on the CT side, but still a man advantage for Movistar and a significant HP advantage as well above Zentaris and Keto. Flashes in, will try to keep them blind, keep them away from position. The Molotovs burning in the wrong place, and Mopper behind Pillar. Sees 2, takes 1, nice spray on Keto, immediately dropping it. Out of position, AWP spawning in the back line. Zentaris does come up with a kill. Oh! No scope from Searson, lands to Smooya, and that might turn things around.
Oh, it might just do, Jay. They are very low, but it's back to that 2 versus 2. The post plant coming in, the CT's out from different angles. Not a lot of utility between Steel and Shocks. It's down to a couple of flashbangs and that decoy. Searson even peeking out towards CT spawn, leaves Steel the last one left on the CT side.
Such a great early start from Movistar Riders. Shut down in this round as Big claim 10 moving into the second half, which begins after break.
My moment, where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger, so meet the monster, I came to conquer. See me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. We were caught in the fire. Our faith was left out in the open. Saw the fear in your eyes as we move through the dust. Nights turn into days when I am gathered. Darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Faded as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise. Everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die. At the end of the line, the trust in our never die. Whoa. Fighting as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We are.
Well, it is Big leading the charge going into their CT half, but Movistar Riders have kept pace from the word go, Dweg, and going into their T half is where things could get interesting. I'm hoping that we see something a bit more out from them because well, it would be nice to keep that very incredible streak set up on Movistar Riders. The odds at GG Bet, I do not have them favoured though as they go towards the T side, and Searson picks up 2 on a start. Good clinical headshot, Steel trades 1 back. Zentaris holding towards long, gets 1 trade back on Steel, and as Tizzy in there to support it, Keto follows suit with the final frag, and that's what you call a shutdown pistol.
Yeah, that's magnificent, isn't it, from Big? Great crosshair placement, and Movistar Riders are just peeking into them dry as anything, and they're just not finding success. Great opening kills coming out. The trades just keep coming back and forth. Movistar Riders hardly find anything in that pistol, not even close towards a bomb site, so no chance of even a bomb plant, so no chance really for a force by either, Jay. They're going to have to Glock this round out, have it as a bit of throwaway, but look at the amount of SMGs being bought down here from the Germans. This is a great opportunity to farm that money up, something they did in that first half as well after winning pistol.
Yeah, Mac 10 Central on the T side for Big, and now FP7's an MP9, so not quite Mac 10, but as close to the equivalent as you can get. 2 frags into 2 kills found, plenty of money gained. Couple of shutdowns coming through from the basic pistol. Smooya does find an SMG, but 1 on 3 for him, 16 HP, no Kevlar. It shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, look, they get a couple of kills, but yeah, that bomb plant would have certainly just been the icing on the cake for Smooya, but not quite the chance. 12 rounds now up for the Big side, and this is just starting to get further and further, more one-sided, Jay. This was so back and forth for a really long time. We saw a 3-3 scoreline, then it went 4-4, then it went 5-5, and now we've just seen Big really gaining control. This is 7 rounds in a row from them.
CT is under full dominance, carrying on from their T side end. Movistar out to the AK to try and stop that streak from continuing, to try and get something back on the board for them here. Smokes down, Molotovs onto Banana as they try and siphon away the Movistar Rider side. Heavy is stacking over towards the A site. Eventually, 2 players do think better of it and go towards the B defensive. Flashes over towards Banana will indicate that there is some sort of presence here, and indeed that's the case for Movistar Riders, but passive alongside the T default.
That was a bit of an interesting heavy lean, wasn't it, coming out from Big? They bring pretty much everyone over to A, end up bringing a few players back, retaking top Banana too with that smoke down towards Broken Ball. Allows Tabson to get somewhat aggressive, but then starts to fall back with his teammate from Keto. And Movistar Riders getting closer to the minute marker. Smoke just coming forward in front of Long. Tizian could be on for a lot here.
They check him. Yes, they do. Shut him down immediately. Do not allow him to do anything with that. Zentaris back over at the graveyard position is going to be the next main concern. Or maybe Tabs actually burning a little bit, caught off by Steel with the damage and the firepower combining to allow a 5-on-3 advantage now for the T side. Rotating out of mid control, and Searson's going to see that. Set up a very quick backstab here. There is 1 player wrapping around from Speedway, but Searson could be on a shot. Everybody down. Sees the utility coming through. Now just got to hold the back by M4. Sees 2 heads. Can't take out any of them. And Sears moving up, does take a frag. AK at his feet, but he is alone alongside Zentaris, who's so far away from the site. Still gets a 2nd kill, bursting through, almost gets that 3rd. Re-smokes the crossbows, the T's wrapping over towards the CT spawn, and taps through 10 seconds. Tries to deny the bomb plant, and still goes down. Big have turned this around.
They've got to get the bomb plant. They faked it. What is going on here? They don't have time. What are they doing? Oh no! A massive blunder. A massive mistake. A face palm coming out for Movistar Riders. They didn't realise the time. They tried to fake it. They try and draw the CTs out to the open, but there's no time to work with. Movistar Riders had the advantage in that 2v1, and they've thrown the round away.
Oh, that's not what you want to see. Big, a little bit of pressure gets them so many results. And Searson with the more power rate to face in, ducked down from 1 player at Mexico is going to bait in the AWP to fall away. Not going to go down, not going to get that kill to open things up. Nades back towards the Banana control. position. Flash in towards mid control, and Tizian does not get close. Can't quite get the 3K, still gets the trade, and holds brackets in position. Bomb dropped out, second mid is still under T-side control, but the trades are good for the CT side.
Yeah, Big are just having an absolute field day with this. Flash comes in, opening a couple of kills out from Tizian. There is a decent trade that comes back, but it's still not enough for the Movistar Riders. They're bringing tabseN over towards that A site. Keto playing really passive out from Coffins at B. Movistar Riders, what's the play here? It's got to be a split into B. Alex might try to draw them on a bit of a fake out towards B, but it's not really pulling any rotations. tabseN's still in CT spawn, anticipating it's an A play.
Ending up with the M4. Checking from library. Good flash in against Mopos. Not going to bait any information. Not going to get anyone pressed. SkullNerd does fall towards Steel, who doubles up on Centaurus as well. Chance available, especially as Mopos wins the fight against tabseN. While you talk about situations turned around for the same can be said for the Movistar Riders as Alex lurking into the B site, ends up with his kill, but Steel with a triple in that round really saved the Movistar Bacon.
Yeah, that's hands down got to be one of the most successful rounds we've ever seen from Movistar Riders. They're in a disadvantage of that just single man, but look, they bring it back really nicely. Big start to then get a little bit antsy, sort of try and see if they can get some information by slow walking aggressively into that short position, and still just lines up a couple. You've got a late lurk out from B that cuts off the rotate 2 from tabseN. That was a very, very nice round for the Movistar Riders. We need to see more from them because the force buy is coming back from Big, and we know what happens when these Hand Eagles are in there.
Nade on Alex to start things off, though. No hand cannon potential for Big as of right now. They're mostly relying on the utility defaults. Worked relatively well for them so far. More nades down on Alex and Mopos, doing even more damage. That HE on Mopos as well, down to 52. They've done so much without taking a single face against Movistar Riders. I have to give credit to the utility usage of Big in this match.
Yeah, they get a bit on point. The thing is, though, about the information, Steel's been caught off with another teammate, but they are still pressing forward. Fast and aggressive out from short. Sirison with the USP trying to tap away, but doesn't quite have the weapon for it. They now start to push through from Moto. There's a bit of a TK in the mix. The kills are all coming through. Smooth is now left all alone in a 1 versus 3 situation. The force fight, they may have just done it again.
In the midst of chaos, Big seem to thrive. Movistar Riders capitulating. As soon as the execution came through, the CT's moving straight forward, and they've called their 3rd tactical timeout. And now things are looking truly, truly good for Big. It was close at the first half, but the Movistar Riders taking their 3rd tactical timeout of this game. Big haven't used a single one. I think that tells its own story.
Yeah, look, it does. And you just look at the way, the protocol that is there from Big. We saw Sirison on the site struggling with that USP. And then once they've got the information, once that contact comes out from short, the rotates just push through that motor smoke like there's no smoke even there. Rather than just waiting out and trying to retake in the disadvantage, they push forward. A TK comes in from Shocks at 1.2. And they just overwhelm. Pressure must be mounting beyond belief for the Movistar Riders, Jay. They are having a rough time in the second half, and just when you thought after a perfect gun round that could be their way back in, it goes the other way again.
AK's Tech 9 and UMP. Movistar, the very close to fighting. It's around 21, an important one for them to win. At least Alex holds a trade on the opening frag of tabseN. Sirison move up alongside Keto here towards the B. Defensive flash is over as now Alex makes his way in for the entry. Smoke's keeping Keto completely blinded. The SMG, however, Alex not looking the right way, keeping his eyes so focused towards Tree. Sirison gets a double as Keto does go down. SMG frags are now 3 AKs one on the CT side. Sirison makes it a triple and Shocks trades it back. But now with all the work to do in the back lines, back behind the now tapping through, trying to get these kills to line up, but only gets the 1 frag. Tizian can burn him alive, and Taurus can take the round to Big once again.
What a game Xantares has been having, 21 and 10. And while those kill numbers are incredibly high, it's been him in those clutch situations, always being the one on retake, always finding that impact if there is a post plant involved or whatever the situation might be. It seems like a late round is really where he's finding his form. Sirison as well backed him up nicely out from CT and from Coffins being on rotate in to try and at least slow down that push. But 15 rounds, match point now up for Big to go to the next round, Jay.
Yeah, feeling like they're very likely to do so here. Kind of wonder where Movistar Riders went from that battle towards start of the game. We had them at 5-5. Now 15-6, haven't scored only a single round since that point. So either one trades from the tees and leads to the fight back to round 22. Oh, steal! Couldn't make it happen. The trades go back to evens. 2-on-2. CT's cleaning house. Alex falls next. Spoo is left alone, and Tizian just looking to shut him down. It's Big that prevail above Movistar Riders, 16-6 in the end. A dominating performance from the German side. And well, what do you say?